This episode of the One Piece podcast is brought to you by Kolektakon.com/One Piece, your source for Mega House One Piece merchandise. Did you know we've extended the deadline for our Doflamingo Portrait of Pirates giveaway? To see how to enter, check out the description of the episode and listen to the segment in today's episode.
This is the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 317 for the week of Monday, May 12th, 2014. My name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
And yes, we are recording this on a Tuesday, and you're probably listening to this on a Wednesday, but it's still the week of May 12th. We have some really good guests today. Of course, we have our very special guest, as always, Steve and Paul, translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We have from the Ass Backwards Anime Podcast, Doctor.
I'm actually recording this on a Friday. I don't know how that worked out.
I don't know how that happened. And our very special guest for today, we're happy to have him on for as much of the episode as we could have him on for. We have Josh Kocurek from FUNimation. Hey.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
No, not a problem. Every time we have you, it's been a ton of fun. We got to do Strong World with you last time. That was a little crazy, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How's everything been going over there?
Things are good. I mean, it's, Texas, we're getting into the summer, so it's starting to get a little warmer. As for FUNimation, things are usually crazy, so all in all right.
Good. We'll be talking a lot about One Piece and where it is at FUNimation a little bit later in the show. And we're also going to go through the manga chapter with you, which is going to be really exciting. We're doing, for our 5th anniversary, we're doing a lot of, I guess it's like a fan appreciation thing, getting like cool people to talk through the manga with us, to talk through their experience with One Piece. Last week we had Chris Sims, who wrote this really cool article about the Arlong arc and the Arlong fight in particular. Next week we're going to have Matt Cohn from Smodcast. He's going to come on and talk about and go through the manga with us. You could check out his podcast at Bagged and Boarded in the Smodcast network. We also will have an interview with Brina Palencia, Steve, that you put together.
Yep.
That'll be out in the next couple weeks, maybe next week. I'm not quite sure when it'll show up. It'll be a surprise.
When it shows up, it will be there.
It will be there. That's true. Thank you, Steve.
You will feel it.
We also will have some really cool stuff for the week of our 5th anniversary around May 31st, so keep a lookout for that. I have everything for that recorded already. It's all ready. I just have to edit it for the next couple months, or next couple weeks, since I only have a couple weeks. Steve, conventions are coming up, right?
Quite.
You want to tell us that?
Oh,
you want to tell us about? Yeah, that would work.
It seems like a yes or no question. Anime Central in Chicago or Rosemont, Illinois this weekend. We do have a panel. We, as in me, as in just I. It's gonna be Saturday night at 6:15. Panels room 12. I think that's right in the convention center, so you don't have to go too far if you're in Dealers Hall.
Cool. We also have we're also going to be at FUNimation. Dennis is going to be there. I don't know who else is going to. Oh, Kate, he said, will also be there hosting our panel for us. That's the following week, so May 23rd through 26th in San Jose, and the one after that I think is Anime Expo in July, which Steve, you'll be at, right?
Yes.
And Josh will also be at.
Yep.
Separately, but yes, you guys will both be at that.
No, aren't we sharing a room? I thought that's what we heard.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, Steve and I are bunking up, so.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be conjoined twins for the weekend.
Whoa.
Share a bed together?
One queen size. Yeah, that's all we need. Head to toe.
Yeah, we've done that.
You guys are going to kill it in the three-legged race.
It makes it very hard to walk, though, because it's hard to walk on my hands, because we're.
They should have those races at anime cons. I feel like more three-legged races. All right, before this completely gets derailed, let's get into the podcast. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I guess.
This is the manga recap for chapter 746, Stars. That's a nice, easy one.
Stars.
You said that much better than I did. Steve, what's going on the front page here?
Well, Trafalgar Law is conspiring. Conspiring? Conspires.
Yeah, he's conspiring.
Conspiraling. You know, I really like Kraft macaroni and cheese spirals back in the day. That's unrelated.
I thought you were going to go with the spirograph thing from The Simpsons, but
Law conspires with a burly walrus. Where do I begin? First of all, a walrus. Well, a very dangerous, mammal. It's also very funny to look at because he's just got bosoms.
Why does he have feet?
Well, maybe it's like Kokoro, where it's flippers.
Oh yeah, maybe it's a merman walrus.
It's a merman.
Walrus.
Walrus.
It's a reverse merman. Well, yeah, that wouldn't make sense because walrus are mammals.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But
well, he's human on the bottom half.
Because wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't that be more desirable?
Maybe he'll fix that and change it into like a actual walrus tail.
I don't know what they're conspiring about.
Why is there a disco ball? I didn't notice that until just now.
That was the first thing I noticed.
Oh, that was the first thing.
Here.
Somebody call my mama.
That and his tiny hat on the walrus. I don't know what's up with that.
And the walrus has seen, he's seen some darkness. He's got some battle scars. But he's just stuffing his face with salmon or whatever kind of fish. Like
Salmon.
Salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon Rushdie.
Am I not pronouncing the name of the fish right?
Fine.
Salmon.
You're fine.
Solomon Grundy.
I think we're thinking about it too much.
I liked the wording that I got for that title. Law conspires with a burly walrus. It just rolls off. It's like cellar door. Just rolls off the tongue.
Because I'm not fat and burly. I used to really have some of these fish.
Stephen, can we see what it says on the newspaper?
Yeah, actually, I submitted that as a caption, but I guess it was not important enough or something. It's if you turn it upside down, it says like it's like buried treasure at the bottom of the sea, or like a mountain of treasure under the sea on the seafloor, sort of thing. Which I don't know if that is supposed to be significant or if that's just like
that's what they're conspiring about.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that's the One Piece?
Yes.
If anyone sends in any theories or questions about that treasure, stop.
Steve will make fun of you because he does.
Maybe they already found the treasure. Maybe it's just all that fish. Like, the fish are so good.
So the One Piece is fish. That would explain.
The true treasure is the bond you share with a friend. And
a walrus.
Over a basket of fish.
Anything else about the cover page?
Do you like fish sticks?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Poor Law. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of taking a bite out of that fish. So he's hanging in there with the walrus.
So Law doesn't like bread, but he'll eat a fish right off the fish.
Law can't be picky. Yeah. It seems like he's kind of annoyed hanging out with this walrus too. It's like, come on, man. There's kooky people in this world of One Piece. You either got to hang out.
That's a good point about the bread, because I was going to suggest that it might be taiyaki, which is like the Japanese. It's a pastry. It's shaped like a fish, but it has a sweet red bean paste inside, and it's like a classic sort of dessert item there. But it's made out of bread, so I don't think he would be eating that. So he must be a raw fish. He's just chowing down.
Good. It was my first guess. Maybe it's a fish taco shaped like a fish.
Steve, first page. I feel like this is a long time for a front page.
It was. I really like that walrus.
It's a good first page. I like it.
No one is coming to help you, Zach.
Why not?
Because no one can escape from the birdcage. Dun dun dun.
No. That's the best acting I could do.
That's probably at least one person shaking the birdcage ropes like, no.
This is kind of right out of the Simpsons movie, isn't it? And the Twilight Zone.
Oh, God.
I didn't even realize that until just this second.
It's like, I have a cannon that could destroy this birdcage, and it's right outside the wall. That was actually one of the only good jokes from that movie.
It wasn't a bad movie. Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah, but no hope at all. All hope is lost because you can't get in touch with anyone on the outside.
It's a Faraday cage, as we discussed last week.
And without anyone knowing what's going on here, you'll simply die out. Yeah, with news coverage these days, I kind of doubt that, Doflamingo, but you're known to having stupid plans, so let's just move on. So those around you will just, will burst into motion.
Wait, are you assuming that CNN exists in the One Piece world? And that
No,
all
but
they'll
there's a
talk
lot of
about
news
is
coups out there.
where is the missing island? That is to have 24 hours of coverage on the missing island.
CNN would find a way inside the birdcage looking for that plane.
Yeah.
And Wolf Blitzer, we
Anderson
we have a
Cooper
viewing-
on report.
Wolf Blitzer will be like, yeah, and we have a audience poll. Is Doflamingo in hell?
That was from The Daily Show when they did that, right?
Daily Show. I saw that on CNN when it actually happened.
Oh, really?
The reference is that the day after Bin Laden was killed, CNN actually had a poll. Is Osama Bin Laden in hell? And does it rain chocolate malt balls?
Continue. Sorry, I'm getting us off topic.
Yeah,
Too.
it happens. But yeah, like anyone you know will just start acting crazy and harming you. And like maybe it'll be your family. No, father. Guess it must be their father. Or it could, or a friend, and this guy with polka dot kerchief. A lot of polka dots now.
We talked about that. Yeah,
I'm thinking about with what Greg said last week. You see this guy attacking his BFF, or those that are sworn to protect you, and then we see a naval officer just like looks like he's just shooting his gun up in the air multiple times, like get away! I am crazy. And with an erg and a zimph, he falls to the ground as Fujitora uses gravity powers to keep them down. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
I'm really starting to like Fujitora. Like every time he shows up, like more and more. He's
great. Yeah,
I mean, we haven't really seen Kizaru and Akainu in a while, and
I'm a sucker for the admirals, though. That's me. I mean,
yeah, you've always been a big fan of like the Marine characters.
Yeah.
And run and hide if you wish. You will find no. This is such a corny promo coming from Doflamingo. This is almost like Caesar Clown. It's like, run and hide if you wish, but no one will find safety within the cage. This Sunday, in the cage. This is what I'm getting the sense of right now. Doflamingo is one for theatrics, apparently.
Yeah, he was the same way during the Coliseum. He's like big on production value. Yeah.
They have those nice TV screens, all the Denden Mushi screens, whatever we're calling
I just
them.
picture him in like a production truck. I'm like, all right, cut to camera two.
He's like the guy from the Truman Show, Ed Harris. He's like that character. He's evil, but he's also very he's interested in cinematography.
He was a film major.
He's a film major, an evil film major.
And he says that this will last for days. If it has to, because everyone is going to die
in the birdcage,
unless you could bring the end to this game. Take us into the rules,
Steven.
Well, we turn the page and we actually go down to the underground port where there, the collapse of the Colosseum has left. I guess this is a trail up to the surface. Although looking in that second panel, I'm not sure exactly how they are planning to just run up the side of this sheer face of rock up to the surface. My pet theory is that because Fujitora was using all of the gravity on the soldiers up on the surface, that he's somehow weakening the gravity down here, and so they can just run up like it's no big deal. But at any rate, somehow they're getting up there. This is Oda's kind of lax physics at work here.
Hey, Luffy did it. Big beanstalk. He also climbed a horizontal mountain.
Yeah,
but he's rubber.
And he's Luffy.
How does that make it better?
Yeah, I don't get how rubber really helps you there.
But he's rubber. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
But all the former slaves this is their chance at freedom. They're going to get out of here finally. They can see the surface again. Thank you, God Usopp. And speaking of which, back behind a couple big crates is the whole group here. We have Kinemon and Sabo, Rebecca, Robin, Hack, Koala, Usopp, the Tentatas, and Bartolomeo.
Big group
wow,
there.
that's
It's a mouthful.
But Kinemon is just fresh to the scene. He just got here. He's escaped after his little stunt dressed up as Doflamingo.
What was his name? Doflamon?
Doflamingo, I think.
Doflamingo?
Yeah. And he notices he notices Rebecca's outfit there, her gladiator costume. You can even see the tiny little arrow like stretching out, and he's like, "Oh, iron breast." Oh, he just loves foreign culture. Apparently, they don't do this in Wano, and
Rebecca has a questionation mark as a response, which is
she's just like,
"Who is this creep?"
She's only 16, Kinemon. But apparently in Wano, that's probably legal. So, Japan joke.
But in more wholesome matters, Bartolomeo wants to be Robin's slave. I mean, he has a question because he recognizes the nose, which appears to be the nose of Sniper King or Soga King, who he knows as having shot through the heart of the flag atop the Tower of Law, which of course he read about in the papers. Being the fanboy that he is. Yes, that's Usopp. He's like, oh my god.
Oh my god. And apparently he's in some sort of movement. A yes movement.
Yes.
Marking out.
Double thumbs up.
We talked about with Greg how rarely they use English. This was in English, right? In the original?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. And he even somehow thematically ties this together. The Sniper King who shot through the heart of the flag, and Robin who was shot through the heart by her crew's symbolic act of turning against the entire world, which he dubs the Enies Lobby heart shooting combo. Like he's playing a video game or something. And Sabo is like, what are you so excited about, you nerd? And fun fact there, the term in Japanese was actually, he calls it mamania. With
the English though, and what are you saying here, Steven?
I think Greg's arguments against this being in any way representative of him are getting thinner and thinner by the chapter here.
Well, we'll know for sure when Sabo says, "Oh my God, shut up, you Greg."
and meanwhile, Hack is like, "This is the guy who broke my wrist."
Yeah. Hack really hasn't been saying too much since he's.
What does he have to say?
I don't know. Jinbei's my best friend. That's the only thing he ever says. Yeah. I know karate. All right, Hack. That's cool. You go stand over there. Jinbei's my best friend.
It's great because that's what he's been doing.
I almost thought Sabo was going to say something to the lengths of, "Get a life, will you? For God's sakes, it's just a TV show."
I mean, it's just the Straw Hats.
Yeah, but it's real to him, damn it.
Meanwhile, Kinemon, he has brought back the injured Tontatas. He's brought them to Leo, safe and sound, but proud warriors.
I like that.
And his nickname now is Top Knot Land, apparently, since everyone has to be in the Uso Landers. Yes, all the Tontatas are proud of their fellows who gave everything for
they gave everything.
Everything for the captain.
There you go. Doc.
All right, so we cut back to camera 2 over here. Doflamingo still monologuing here. It's like scream, cry, and curse. You're all victims.
He's such a director.
Yeah.
Okay, now you guys scream, cry. You cry.
The owner of a black Acura, you have left your lights on.
You're about to be towed, so.
After you die, Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
It doesn't matter when you're dead.
Your Acura has been crushed into a cube. You have 30 minutes to move your cube.
Is it about my cube? I'd finish that scene and scene.
All right. Okay, so he keeps going out like it's just like the horrible night 10 years ago. And it's like, I finally understand. It wasn't Riku and the Royal Army that were being controlled by Doflamingo. Oh wait, this is no, this is not him, is it? Or is
No,
No, it's the same guy, yeah.
it same guy? Okay.
yeah, it's the thoughts of the citizens, and I think if you haven't noticed, I think the guy in that first panel there with the afro holding his head, I believe that was the friend from the previous page. And I don't think this guy in the middle panel.
Oh, yeah, it does look like
this guy
the guy.
might be the father.
Well, it's kind of cool because they have the same exact pose, Riku and this guy.
So they're basically all getting like the same realization.
And it's really cool, the lighting, which I think we've talked about. Oda's been doing that shadowing with when there's like explosions and stuff a lot more. Laser beams, he did it a lot.
Light.
Just want to correct, it's definitely not the father in the middle panel, but I do think that's the the BFF on that right panel.
Yeah, I think it.
I want to get that out of the way before someone corrects me.
Man, I'm guessing that's the Marine in the background of that same panel.
Could be.
Maybe, I don't know.
We can't tell. It's hard to tell.
Piece of tweet if you want to discuss it.
Sure. And it's King Riku. It's like, no, stop, Doflamingo. And it gets back to, I guess now we're at horror camera. Think it over. Will you come after me, or will you join the Doflamingo army and deliver swift justice to the 12 fools who dared lash out at me? Dared! Make the wrong choice, and you'll never see the end of the game. And this is when this starts to become a video game all of a sudden. Each star is worth 100 million berries. Look closely at these are the true convicts of Dressrosa.
And if not to make it even more like a video game, you have Dr. Eggman there.
Yeah.
All you, Josh.
All right, so we have this beautiful spread in which we unveil pretty much all the people who have the star bounties assigned to them. We have Zoro, Kyros, Frank. They both have 2 stars. Frankie, Violet, Kinemon, Robin, and Rebecca each have 1. And then we get into the big 3 stars: King Riku, Law, Luffy, and Sabo. So I guess this is kind of like we were talking about wanting to get new wanted posters for the Straw Hats. So this is kind of like in the interim, I guess, is what they're giving us. Star assignments. Yeah.
They're good. They're good drawings of everyone.
Yeah.
Doflamingo is all about production because he got the best headshots possible for these guys.
You just had them sitting around. Yeah.
He set up
I
this
don't
graphics.
I don't recall these guys ever posing for a picture. Wait, Monkey D. Luffy, can you hold for a second?
Cameras everywhere. That's the thing. Yeah.
Like Luffy's like punching guards in the castle, and it's like, can we get a picture? Sure.
It really is the Truman Show. It's the Doflamingo Show. It's just, or I guess it would be the
episode title.
And so then you have everyone standing around, coming to the realization that Kyros is back, and these are all the Straw Hats, and Violet from the family was Princess Viola. And so
it doesn't seem like that should be that big of a surprise. Like, oh, this character has like 1 letter difference in her name, and she looks exactly the same as the other one.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's like she parts her hair to the other side or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, puts on some sunglasses. Where'd Superman go?
Exactly. And so then, Doflamingo has his he. The ringleader of each group has a full 3 stars, and so everyone quickly does math in their head, and they're like, "Wait a minute, it's 300 million berries." And they get super excited about that.
I really do love that page. It's a great page. But things get revealed a little bit more here. I guess these were all the guys who were underground, the pirates that were saved by Usopp. They're like, oh, it was the Pirate Alliance. It's Law and Straw Hat. That's been in all the papers. I don't know. It's that Pirate Alliance. No, what is this accent, Stephen? I can't.
I just imagine this guy being like this. I don't know. I mean, just the way that he looks like one of those really dumb like muscle men, like in the circus. So I'm like, it's that Pirate Alliance. What's been in all the papers? Sort of thing.
Sounds like a 1920s gangster, or not gangster, but like the hitman that comes after the big guy. Anyway,
I set up the circus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the Pirate Alliance. I can't do accents. So they're also all surprised that King Riku's still alive. And look, it's the big shot from the revolutionaries. Right, I can't do accents.
That was good. That was better.
That was better? Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Appreciate it. And you have Hack in the background. He gets his info fast. We did see
Jinbei's my best friend.
I know karate.
I know karate. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. We did see that there were the two Doflamingo guys that were like, oh my god, it's Saba. Oh, it's the chief of staff. Oh my god. Let's go tell him. Blah, blah, blah. So we have a little explanation. And you see Usopp still completely knocked out, wheezing, saying, at least he doesn't know about me. Okay, good. Relax. Breathe deep. It'll be fine.
And so continues the subtle tale.
And Doflamingo says, but wait! There is one man who has earned the full weight of my wrath. It is the person who has plunged everyone into this game of death. He is responsible.
God. Is he the 12th man?
He, the 12th man, the 500 million berry man, God, Usopp. Gets 5 stars, which, as we learned from math earlier, is 500 million
As
berries.
we learned from Grand Theft Auto, that's when the army comes out.
That's when the army comes.
And we got tanks.
This is oddly similar to that, I guess.
So he's officially got Usopp now. I wonder when he'll get his earlobes extended and drums installed into his back.
He's the base god.
Oh, do you think when Eneru eventually, hopefully, returns, it'll be God Usopp versus God Eneru?
No.
You suck, Steve. On the next side of the page there, we have some really attractive people saying, oh!
Well, that one guy looked like he tried really hard. He's got a perm. He's got his eyelashes done.
You got the lip implants. He's looking...
And you have a bunch of the rapscallions over there. Wow, why did I choose that word?
Rapscallions.
All yelling, 500 million, yeah, we could live in luxury for the rest of our lives. What kind of luxury are these guys living in? Anyway, I can't even describe this next panel. It's probably one of my favorite panels ever.
If I could stop you for a moment, just that speech bubble, the luxury, this guy has a top knot. And I don't know what to look at. Like, at first I noticed the top knot. I'm like, oh, could that be Kanjuro? But it kind of reminds me of one of the characters Oda drew when he was asked, like, oh, draw some upcoming characters.
Oh, you're right.
One of them had, like, a top knot. Yeah. And I think he had, like, a jacket and, like, a sword or something.
What kind of jacket?
Leather, pleather. I don't know. This guy looks pretty fat, though.
Yeah, it's definitely not Kanjuro, but I should point out, since I was just looking back at volume 73, I don't know if Greg ever mentioned this in his recent appearances, but that was actually there was a panel originally, like a flashback thing, where you see a silhouette of Kanjuro, and he sort of has like the typical like long hair that's pulled back into a ponytail that's sticking out of the back of his head. And that was redrawn, and now it sort of looks in silhouette like it's just a guy with a bucket on his head, like it's just totally flat angles and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what
about that, right?
I don't know what the deal is with that. If he changed his mind, or if the guy's wearing some kind of headgear, or what. But yeah, it seems like Oda has finalized some kind of design thing about it. Not that he would show up like this as a random extra, but
I looked far too much into it, but he does have a top knot.
Yeah,
that he does. Yeah. So yeah, anyone want to go through this next panel? I can't handle this.
We are getting so many shock reactions in this arc,
and
they're mostly from Usopp.
This one is like creepy though. What it reminds me of, it's not really coming to my mind right now, but it just seems like something not Oda-like, something very creepy and trippy.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a heavy metal music video.
Yeah, the Bloodshot Eyes definitely has that like drag race crazy guy, like the
Redline-ish.
In that essence, that's what I'm thinking of.
I could like Redline and Oda's style, kind of. Not at all, but anyway. The next
Maybe
page.
they'll be naked at the end of this.
The next page, you see Sabo looking over his shoulder at the television screen, saying, "That angle is terrible." No, and they're all like, "Oh no, oh no," and then you see everyone just look around and they're like, "Oh yes, oh yes."
And with the skreek, they turn their heads. With
Slowly they turn.
red scratch.
Have you guys? Do you guys know Gorillaz, the band?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen their music videos?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like in that animation style, that would look really fantastic. Just
especially that guy on the left. The guy
he's kind of like the drummer, right?
Yeah, he looks a lot like the drummer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be well. I don't know if Toei is going to do that, but it would look cool if.
Oh, why not? You know.
Yeah, let's do like a little compilation thing. You know.
No, like in that kind of style.
Change the animation style in the middle of this episode. Turn it into a music video.
Hey, no, I didn't see that.
And then why don't we just make a reference to White Stripes and have an entire episode animated in Legos?
I like it.
Sorry, you totally got me on that Toonami Midnight Run music video kick now.
Sorry. Steve,
Don't apologize.
I think it's your page.
Can't get it out of my head. It's not like it's like PTSD or something like that.
Steve, it's all you.
Good times. 5 stars. They noticed Usopp KO'd down there. And like, hey, plus a pair of 1 stars and a 3-star. Let's get them. And Qual's like, what should we do, Sabo? And she goes back to back, totally 90s television show style with Sabo. Sabo yells like, we got to get to the surface right now. And the Tontadas are like, sorry, God, Usopp, you got... Oh, no, sorry, that's not the Tontadas.
That would be adorable, though, right?
Sorry, Usopp, every man for himself. But they say, like, sorry, God, Usopp, but you must die now. And the Tontadas are the ones that say, they were just worshipping you just a minute ago.
That's Usopp. Keep trying, Steve.
Is it? Oh, damn it. Damn it. It's the D's. Double damn it. Yeah, apparently Usopp's talking like a Tontada, but he says, like, just get me the heck out of here. And they carry him off, and they're like, hey, look, there's the 1-star samurai, 100 million bows. And he's like, ugh. And Kinemon looks down and says, like, oh, those little ones claim that this hole leads to the scrap heap. I hope you're down there, Kanjuro, because I'm going to jump there. Bottomless pit from, that.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that. The zone, what was it, from the baseball episode of The Simpsons?
Yeah, Homer at bat. Bottomless pit.
Yep, bottomless pit.
Ozzie Smith.
Yeah. I think it was.
And Doflamingo, he's cutting a Triple H length promo at this point. It's still going. It's like Doflamingo's is like, oh no, there's no time to think this over.
Well, we should think of it like this way: at the pace the anime goes now, this speech would last an entire episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, frankly, you have to kill these guys.
The only one that's getting killed around here is all you. But hey, it's like, as you wait, more and more people will die and more buildings will burn down to the ground. And people are like, what should we do now that we know that King Riku was innocent all along? Like, I don't know. They're like thinking, what if we all band together? Doflamingo's only one guy, but they're like, that's stupid. He's not just one guy. To stop him, you need to fight like the entire Don Quixote family, and that's about like 2,000 people.
I didn't realize how large it was. Is that the first figure we've gotten?
Yeah.
Oh, good notice there, Zach. And then this douchebag right here says, oh, but Kikiriku's among one of the 12 wanted. Just saying.
Well, he's like the guy with the only guy who's saying, the right thing here.
And then things start turning for the worse when people start saying stuff like, this guy who looks like Full Body. He does look like Full Body. Remember when Full Body was a character?
He does a little.
Somewhere, dude is crying right now.
Yeah, dude is definitely crying right now.
This guy says, well, he didn't say we had to kill them. Just as long as we, apprehend them. It's only 12 people. We got to do it. We got to fight. And then we cut back down to the House of Toys, and God willing that Dellinger is saying this line, but I highly doubt it. Saying like, hey, where's Cyborg Frankie? He was lying on the ground here just a second ago. As we see a bunch. Yes, yeah, he's gone.
You can see Dellinger's outline there.
Yes, we see his hat and his
body,
and his bare legs, clean shaven too.
Okay, I know you're obsessed with Dellinger, but come on.
We're just good friends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not my page anymore. So this is something else.
So meanwhile, down on the rocky path up to the surface, Bartolomeo.
By rocky path, though, you mean cliff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks a lot easier to climb from this angle, apparently, but Bartolomeo is acting as the checkpoint here. He's keeping them all out, all the pursuers, while the rest of the group continues to go up. And he says, "Yeah, go on ahead, go up to the surface. I'll hold them off here." And meanwhile, Robin's transponder snail is going off, and it's Zoro. And now we see the group of Zoro, Luffy, Violet, Riku, and Law. Now they're in contact with the other big group of folks here, and they're kind of come up with a plan here. So Zoro says, "Yeah, we're on top of this royal plateau thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of crazy stuff going on here." And Luffy is furious, not just at what Doflamingo is saying, but the insinuation that Usopp could possibly be worth more than he is. What a joke. And Usopp over here says, "Shut up, Luffy." And
I didn't want this.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this life.
Even Rebecca was on the list, and Luffy is concerned about her, but she's right over there on the other side of the phone, and so now Luffy and Rebecca are talking. He says, "Hey, guess what? The soldier's right here." Wait, no, actually he's not. They notice Kiros has disappeared. He's gone off somewhere else. And we actually see that he is hopping through town, and
it's because he has one leg.
Yeah, it's hard to say what he's doing. Presumably, he's just trying to go back after Doflamingo. But
you think if he had two legs, he'd have 2 stars?
Oh, ouch!
Ouch! Oh. Is that bad?
That's like whatever being a racist towards handicapped people is. That's what you are.
Actually, he does have 2 stars. He's one of the 2 stars.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Oh. Do you suspect that he's probably using like Skywalk to get around pretty easily? Because
well, that's what I thought originally.
I don't think you get a whole lot of momentum just hopping around on one leg.
I could see that as like an easy explanation for that.
It's like the Force. Right. You say that for everything.
Why do they say? Yeah, he runs around on one leg long enough, he'll learn how to do that.
Why do they say he's a 1-star convict if he has 2 stars? Did you make a mistake?
That's a good point. I don't think so. I think I would have recognized the difference.
Maybe Oda made a mistake. Someone made a mistake. No, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 2-star.
Yeah. And Rebecca is curious. She's like, "Oh, but he's he was a toy, so he must be human again. Like, what is he like?" And Luffy's like, what's he like?
Let me tell you a story. And
it's Doc, tell the story.
Yeah. He's like, "What are you talking about? Didn't you realize this entire time that it's been beaten down, even though everyone but you has noticed? That one-legged soldier is your dad. He's a statue guy from the Coliseum."
No, that's not true.
It's impossible.
Actually, wait a minute. No, it's not. I'm pretty sure we've made that joke before.
Oh, have we?
I think we've done it several times with like Rebecca. I think the last time was when Diamante said, "I killed your mother." No, that's not true.
That joke works in all circumstances, except these circumstances.
Rebecca, you're the winner of Block D. No, that's not true.
Actually, that one is also very implausible. Continue. Yeah.
And highly unlikely.
That's highly unlikely. Yeah.
Yes. And so she kind of just has like a sudden flashback of every moment. It's like, all right.
Well, it all makes sense now, considering just how protective that toy soldier was of her.
Yeah. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be crying a little during the flashback in the anime.
You got to realize is that during all this time, she knows nothing of her father, of his existence. So, these memories are still just only associated with just a toy. So now knowing that her father, the entire time, was protecting her, training her, trying to cheer her up, it really gets to her.
And it seems like from the way it hasn't really been stated explicitly, but it seems like from the way that Oda has written it, it's like the people who are missing family members, it's like not only do they not know that they have them, but it's like they don't, like their brain doesn't even register like the possibility, like they don't wonder like, well, why don't I have a father, or who was my father? Like it just completely shuts off that.
And even though the memory comes back, it takes something to kind of trigger it, which makes sense in real life. That's the way memories work. You don't.
It's kind of like a post-traumatic stress or something.
Yeah, it's been repressed, but now it's able to come up. I also like how the speech bubbles in each of Rebecca's little bubbles there cover her eyes. So as she starts to well up, you don't necessarily see it. I think it's a cool choice.
I think it's real nice. But Luffy keeps going. It's like, hey, isn't that great? Awesome. By the way, listen.
He basically says that.
She's having a moment there. Like,
good for you.
Yo, isn't that cool? Anyway.
It does sound like he's being really condescending. Good for you, right? Anyway, we have other stuff, Rebecca.
We have this whole thing we're doing right now. Sorry about that. Anyway, but you mentioned don't cry yet. I won't let him die, so you have to stay safe. And I'm sorry I couldn't get that flame fruit you wanted, but in return, I'm totally gonna kick Doflamingo's ass. I was getting close to the Jean-Claude Van Damme from Street Fighter.
I was just thinking the same exact thing. I'm gonna kick that son of a bitch.
Bison's ass so hard.
I'm gonna kick that son of a bitch Doflamingo's ass so hard.
But every Doflamingo wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? Okay, let me just go.
Steve and Doc make jokes. Go ahead.
I'll end this game real soon. Make sure you survive that. Got it? And she's like, yes. And Robin's like, who's with you, Luffy? Over here we got. Doesn't matter.
Time passes. We don't.
Time passes.
Don't worry. The anime they'll cover that.
Don't worry about that later.
Who's on your team? Well, I have Zoro. Cuts back to when Luffy first meets Zoro. It's like, oh god, they got us again, Tori.
Way to freaking save money, son of a bitch. Anyway. Said, okay, so he says, "Where'd you?" It's Law talking here. And where'd you get that picture? He says, "Well, the plan was to lead Doflamingo."
No, it's not. It's not an actual picture. It's like he's asking, like, do you understand the situation here?
Oh, do you get the picture?
Did you get that pic I texted?
Wow, see, like, I'm reading too fast.
Yeah, I like it. It's.
Do you have it on Vine? Yeah. House. So you get the picture now? Get the picture, duh. Okay, so the plan was to lead Doflamingo alive, so he would wind up clashing with Kaido. If you take him down now, then Kaido's rage at losing his smile fruit will be turned on us instead. So we'll be up against a furious emperor.
And Luffy's like, "Don't care, Battle of Gods." I'm sorry, I forgot.
Good timing. No. Yeah, we could talk about the future later. Just look at this place. How could it?
I thought you were talking about Battle of Gods.
Yeah. So Luffy still doesn't care. He's like, look, we need to take care of this now. This is more important. I mean, because he's already said, like, look, Emperor, Schmemperor, we'll take on whoever. And then Law's face is just like, all right, let's do this.
No, I think this is a defeated face right here. Well, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try anymore with this dude. There's no winning.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Bastille and Fujitora. It's talking about, so what do? Do we capture Doflamingo? And Bastille's like, no. Try to subdue, everyone that's rampaging. Keep your sights on the Pirate Alliance between Straw Hat and Law. That's
no, actually, I think that's reversed. I think Bastille's asking Fujitora.
Yeah, that would make sense, right? Fujitora's giving the orders here. So yeah, essentially, they had to make the decision, like, what is our part in this game? And, they're sticking to finding Luffy and Law. Taking care of them.
I think Fujitora is just only doing this at this point just because it's by the book.
It's
begrudging. There's no way he could possibly think that Law and the Straw Hats are the real are the real bad guys here. He already said that.
No, he knows. Doflamingo just made a 40-minute speech about how he's the real culprit.
Maybe he missed that part. I don't know.
What? You hear me? Let me talk for another 40 minutes.
He's blind, not deaf.
I also want to mention, because this got glanced over, but this just shows Zoro's place on the crew. He doesn't need to say a thing. Luffy gives his speech, gives his orders, and Zoro just goes, draws his blade. I think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that, yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have to ask any questions or raise a stink. He's just like, that's my captain.
So then we go to the top of the next page where you hear Law yelling, wait, at least take my cuffs off first. And Luffy's like, they'll fall off eventually. And he grabs both Zoro and Law, but it looks like in a headlock, and starts running towards Flower Hill. And so Zoro asks, which route are we taking? Like he'd know anyway.
I like that he is horizontal.
Yeah, their heads are sideways. So you kind of don't notice yet.
If you didn't know what was going on, these three panels kind of give it away.
And so they go, he says, the direct one. Are you going to jump off the cliff? Just you wait, Doflamingo. And there they go.
The answer to that's yes. They were.
Yep.
They jumped off the cliff.
Jumped off the cliff. All three of them head first in. So.
Well, Luffy's foot first, but
I was gonna ask if his handcuffs were still on, but they are still on. Does he have the key still?
I don't think so.
So. Is he just? That's okay.
I think the key was dropped. I don't know. It's fall off eventually.
Yeah,
like handcuffs are something natural. We all have handcuffs when we're born, but then they fall off eventually.
Can someone explain to Luffy how people work?
I do like the idea that Zoro is asking which way they're. It's like going to the Hadron Collider or something and being like, so which test are we doing today? As though like you had any idea what any of it means.
Interesting. Yeah.
What's great is also that you have two very, very serious characters, Zoro and Luffy, being carried sideways by Zoro and Law being carried by Luffy as they jump off a cliff. Just those faces, I love it. So thoughts on the chapter, Josh? You want to start?
Sure. No, yeah, I think it's great. I really like the whole game aspect that they added to this with the birdcage. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, and I mean, I'm definitely excited to see what happens in the next couple chapters as they go after Doflamingo. So,
Steven? For what you can say.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to bring up that I went back and looked at the Japanese chapter, and it does say 1-star convict on the scene with Kiro, so that's
Oda.
Probably. Yep, Isaka is not doing his job.
Come on, Isaka.
Yeah,
I know he listens.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
No.
He also doesn't speak English, so that was...
Yeah, no, it was a good chapter. I feel like, we're like Oda is kind of rapidly, this arc has had so many kind of twists and turns, and the kind of framework of what we think is going to happen keeps sort of shifting as the arc evolves. But it really seems like Oda is kind of maneuvering everything for the real action, not just in terms of story, but in terms of like actually going down and beating guys up, and
the landscape, the physical landscape has been transforming.
Not only that, Yeah, I did get a feel it with, especially with the numeral values assigned to them. It kind of almost felt like a Hunter x Hunter style thing where like it's just like, okay, this arc I'm just gonna enact this crazy little, hierarchy system thing that applies only to it. It seems like a very Togashi-esque thing to do, but yeah, it's things are getting very fast paced now, I think, in terms of like getting towards the end of this arc.
Doc?
Usopp killed me. That panel alone, I really enjoyed this chapter. I like the idea, and I kind of had like a similar thinking about like Hunter x Hunter, where it's just like suddenly we have this entire gimmick thrown into this, just randomly thrown into this arc, and we have to learn to work with it. And it's like, okay, here's like a bunch of cards that we suddenly can use, and we don't ever see like half of them. But they're all made. They have translations. Everything's there. But who cares? But I really enjoy this. I think that this is going to be great. I do want to see where this goes now that essentially everyone's gunning for them. So, and you mentioned how like the army's like huge. The Don Quixote family is just so huge. So it's just like, oh wow, is this just going to be like a gauntlet of people? They're going to be like going across just to try to get to this guy. I don't know. I'm excited.
Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Straw Hats, come out and play. How none of you made the Warriors connection to this yet?
I didn't have any glass bottles or anything on me.
I when I was watching that movie for the first time, I always thought that was Sean Penn.
It does sound like him.
Kind of looks like him. I don't know, just a Weasley young Sean Penn. But yeah, totally. When I read this chapter, got the Warriors vibe from it, and that's always a fun concept. Kind of the ultimate game of tag.
yeah, just at the end, Doflamingo goes, "Can you dig it?"
Yeah, I know. It's like, looks like we got the Straw Hats on the run. It's like, oh my god, will Doflamingo just shut up already? It's like Doflamingo's like the guy that's just like streaming in the middle of the night. It's like, is anybody up? Anybody around? Anyone still there? Anyone want to talk? And you got Doflamingo here, top 40. Well, I think the whole survival thing is great because it's very different from the normal just beat the bad guy and hooray, the day is saved. Doflamingo knew he was in deep trouble. Not a Simpsons reference. So I like this little interesting twist that he's turned this up. Like he turned a situation where, okay, everyone's gonna want to kill me. He turned it into now everyone's going to want to kill them.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. I know a lot of people, I think some people have compared this to Eneru's thing in Skypiea. And usually when people think of Skypiea in that game, people think, the pacing. So hopefully that isn't too much of an issue. I don't think it's going to be. I don't see us going.
Well, there's so much happening in the background, and all these new characters, and
I don't see this.
We have Kinemon and Sabo and that group, and we have and Fujitora.
That's the thing. I think this time around we have a lot more characters. That means a lot more plot lines going on instead of just, okay, the Straw Hats are separated into 3 groups. This is how it's going to be.
Here's Satori.
We got a bunch of different plot lines going on here. Kinemon's still looking for Kanjuro. So I don't see this getting really dull and very slow in the pacing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I like
this
how
chapter was really great. Had a lot of great funny moments in it too, and just it's a hype train. If you didn't know that already, by Doflamingo.
I like how we've had a lot of similarities to Alabasta up until this point, and now it's definitely a lot different. It's going in a very different direction. So I guess it's kind of, combining Alabasta and Skypiea, the best elements of both. Or maybe it's just that this manga has been going on for 17 years, and now we're starting to have a little, we notice things a little more.
We've had the conversation before, and I think we all said, like, hey, that'll happen when you make a story so long, but hey, as long as it's entertaining.
It is.
As long as it's not following the same exact formula where it's going to be predictable, then who cares?
Speaking of predictable, any predictions for next week? Anyone dare to predict?
People are going to try and kill the Straw Hats, but they won't.
Yeah, it seems like it could happen.
I'm kind of bummed about Usopp losing all of his followers so quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess that's really going to support the theory that the Tontadas are truly his.
No, I think these
followers.
I did want to say this. I think I don't think that all of his followers are going to go against him. I think he definitely is going to still retain some. I mean, money isn't everything for everyone. But even beside
Unless
that,
you're American.
Yeah, exactly.
Speak for yourself. Yes.
But I mean, even aside from that, once this game ends, which it will, and Luffy will probably, I think definitely win. I think I could say that. I think they'll be his followers again, though not the most loyal of followers. If you put 500 million berries in front of them, I don't see why they wouldn't be. They still called him God Usopp, even when they were running after him. They said, "Sorry, we have a life. We have to earn a living.
I got kids to feed, man."
Probably not, but
somewhere.
I could even see. I don't even know if it's necessarily going to happen this way, but like, basically another miracle of comic proportions, like of Usopp surviving their attack, and then they're just like, "Oh, we're so sorry, we didn't mean to doubt you," sort of thing where they
like Buggy all over again.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That did happen to Buggy too.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we get into the next segment, guys? You ready?
Sure.
All right.
I could dig it.
Today's episode of the unofficial One Piece podcast is sponsored by Kolektakon. Find them at kolektakon.com/One Piece for all your Mega House One Piece merchandise. We are so happy to have Kolektakon as sponsors, and part of the reason is we get to give you a free Doflamingo portrait of pirates. I don't think we've emphasized this enough. Steve, can you say it again, like in a booming voice?
Well, these portrait of pirate figures. These really big, expensive One Piece figures that are like, highly detailed and sculpted. Well, we're giving you one for free.
We have
that is free. FREE free.
We have extended the deadline by 1 week, so it is now, you have until Monday, this coming Monday, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when the manga comes out. That seems like a good time. And we will announce the winner next week instead of what we were going to do this week. So you have until then. All you have to do, this is all you have to do, go to tumblr.com, post a GIF that you made, and make sure to write the links Kolektakon.com, OnePiecePodcast.com, and the most important part, make sure to hashtag it OPPX That's all you got to do.
And how we spell Kolektakon, just in case. Kolektakon, spelled KOLEKTAKON.
Yes, so that's Kolektakon.com, and hashtag again, OPPX Kolektakon. There's a lot of really cool figures that are still in stock or available for pre-order. A new one available is Cavendish. I know you all are huge Cavendish fans out there.
I love Bartolomeo.
I think he's probably coming out soon, if I had to venture a guess. So you get them basically as soon as they're available in Japan, and they're as cheap as you could get them. Available for pre-order now. Cavendish, Bellamy, Rebecca, and Kaku are all available for pre-order in stock now. I'll go through them quick. Luffy, Chopper, Zoro. The Zoro one is awesome. Vivi, Lucci. I think the rest are all sold out at the moment, but keep checking at Kolektakon.com/One Piece, and you will find out if they're back in stock or not. I think Law's already sold out, yeah. So yeah, check that out. And, Doflamingo's sold out, so if you want one, the only way to get one from Kolektakon is through us. So make sure to sign up for that contest. Seriously, it's a chance to win a free POP. This chance does not ever really happen. I don't know when people get free POPs, but this is your opportunity. So enter now and win and enter for a chance to win your free POP of Doflamingo.
And then you could create your own favorite scenes from the Doflamingo show.
So I think with out of the way, you ready to get back into the show?
Yeah.
Let's do it. This is the anime recap for episode 644, A Blow of Anger, a Giant versus Lucy. Steve, it's like your Twitter address, a Steve Yurko versus Lucy. I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Below.
So we have Doc and Steve joining us for this segment and the following segment, the Toonami Recap. So why don't we go through this episode? It's a lot different than I think the last few have been because we start on the sunny.
Yeah, we're off the coast of Dressrosa. This is the first time we've been to the sunny in quite a while, and shit is going down.
My first comment was, and this was actually what I wrote down for the first comment, Nami's breasts defy gravity. But I realized that actually serves a purpose for a little later on to show the juxtaposition. Not of the breasts, but of what happens to them. So we see something happening inside the cabin. We heard... It's been a bunch of episodes since we've been at this location, right?
Yeah.
Did you say episodes? Because it kind of cut out. Kind of like you said bunch of sods.
A bunch of sods.
It's a bunch of sods.
It's a bunch of sods. A bunch of sods.
People should call them a bunch of sods.
That's how people should describe DBZ. Man, remember how long it took for Goku to beat Frieza? Bunch of sods.
Don't care about it.
When's the next collection set of bunch of sods of One Piece coming out?
Anyway, so something is happening to the ship, and we find out that it is Giola of the Treble Army of the Don Quixote family. How happy were you guys to see her?
Well, even though we've seen her before, they kind of...
That's true.
Kind of throws you off. You got like these skinny, sultry legs. You're thinking, oh, she must be quite the looker. And nope.
The opposite of that.
Nope. She thinks that she's got this kind of mindset that she thinks people are referring to her as a mermaid, like a compliment. They are not. She continues to dance. Her milkshake brings nothing to the yard. It keeps things out of the yard.
It does. And there is a yard that she is standing in.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That actually makes sense.
I was thinking that too. She is technically in a yard. She's bringing nothing but...
She does have an awesome
Right.
devil fruit power, though. I am a huge fan of this power. I mean, it's ridiculous, which is probably why I'm such a fan of it. We find out that Giola makes art. She could turn people... she could turn them back, though. She explains, like, look, I forgot this part. I'll turn you guys back, but you have to give me Momonosuke. Not Momonosuke, Big Momonosuke's house.
Yes.
And they're like, no. The crew tries to they block an attack with like lifting up the lid of the ship, and they disperse and they run around, and they eventually head off in the what's the shark called again? I forgot what the shark is called.
I forget.
And the Mini Mary. And we get to like CGI animation here. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
The way the camera was turning. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that?
I thought it was nice.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, forgot to point out that when
the shark submersible, well, maybe something like. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the name. It's killing me.
I was thinking when these Straw Hats and Momonosuke were turned into art, the director made sure to point out that Nami is now sadly flat.
The Shark Submerged 3. Okay. I had to know that because it was murdering me in the face.
It was murdering my brain.
So, yeah, they head off after they had been turned. I don't know if I mentioned that they had been turned into art themselves.
You haven't.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. That happened.
So that happened.
We have Brooke as the Scream. Momonosuke is a guy with a butt for a head.
It's a peach.
Peach, I'm sorry.
It's a peach.
Do we know all the references now? Because that's beyond my wheelhouse.
It's been a long time since I took art history.
Okay.
It's mostly like it's.
Maybe we'll go into more detail next.
Very
time.
Pablo Picasso-esque.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
Greg will swoop in to correct us all.
Yeah, no, I mean, Greg actually researched where they all came from, I believe. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have him on again to talk a little bit about it. He hinted at it last week, I know. If only he were on also this week. And
Chopper just reminds me of like a character from Minecraft or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, everything's so blocky.
But We see also that there was Chopper. So sorry. Yeah, no, I just did that already.
Chopper, so sorry.
We see a Doflamingo submarine was hit in the fog. So this is the ship that Giola rode in on. And then she decides, look, I'm going to just hit the whole Sunny because you guys are being really annoying. And a dire situation develops. Meanwhile, at the Coliseum, Ricky...
shouldn't mention, though, Zach, that most of this scene is implied filler.
Oh.
Was it?
The Ricky scene?
No,
it was
the Joel scene.
Oh, yeah, a lot of it was implied
I
filler.
could have swore that we didn't see them turn into art.
We did not.
Like,
we saw them.
Jola, it cut away, and then the next time we saw them, they're already off the ship.
Yep.
And they looked like that.
Yep. This was actually very good use of implied filler.
Yeah.
Because this stuff happened, but, yeah, it helped the pacing of something that we just skipped last time. So, good stuff. Next, at the Coliseum, Ricky needs medical treatment. He refuses. He won't take his mask off. Rebecca tries to help. It turns into a whole scene. Obviously, Ricky has some sort of connection to Rebecca. Is what we get from that. Meanwhile, in the Don Quixote waiting room, Bellamy and Diamante are talking, and he says, Joker wants you to kill Luffy, Bellamy. Can you do that for me?
And didn't you guys take notice that Bellamy is getting his own special treatment in this room?
Yep.
I wonder what I mean by that.
I also wonder.
Find out in half a year.
At the Coliseum, Bartolomeo, we find out, has a giant suitcase with him, but that's not the part. He sets it down, he talks to Cavendish, and he says, Luffy, that man is not yours to kill. My connection with him is much deeper. Lots of curious things. Cavendish is like, you want to kill him too? Well, I'm going to be the one to kill him because he's taken all of my spotlight. I can't have that happen. And then we head to the Coliseum, and we see Hyruden, the giant from Raftel from Elbaf. And I just have to ask, how did we not see this guy earlier? He takes up the whole
I
thing.
asked the question is, how was he in the waiting room?
It doesn't make sense.
He's so damn big. He probably he would have been just waiting outside and said, "All right, we're ready for you." He would just step over the wall and go, and here I am.
I don't think he's that tall, but
he looks really damn tall in the anime.
I think they've had some.
It might just be
issues,
some inconsistencies with the proportions, but holy shit, he is big.
He claims he'll become king of the giants, which almost rhymes with pirates. Meanwhile, Lucy and Moosey, and by the way, Crunchyroll, you could have named him Moosey. You completely dropped the ball there. Follow
God forbid, Zach, that they actually provided you with the translation.
It's Usi. What are we missing here? Usi just means bull. Why not just say Moosey?
We're gonna have someone complain at one of our panels. Oh, I don't support them because they changed it to Moosey. What's with that crap?
Yeah. So we find again we go through it's brutal bull. But Lucy's a hit with the crowd. We get the same crowd shots that you and me have made fun of, Steve. Right?
We should have did that Vine.
We should have done a Vine.
That was in the apartment of me standing next to your TV and going.
No one could see that, including me. I can't see that.
They'll probably know what we're talking about now because it's been used the last, I don't know,
every time
3 months.
Yeah. Meanwhile, not meanwhile. What happens is Hyruden punches the two of them, and no Moosey.
Not Moosey.
This kind of reminds me of with Dexter's Lab with the first Monkey cartoon, Monkey, when Monkey gets beaten by the villain, and all the crowd they're just devastated. Monkey.
Just the one guy. He's crying.
Is that our first Dexter's Lab reference?
I think so.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, wow.
But I love this scene. Lucy does a little prayer for him. Essentially, it's like, I'm so sorry, Moosey. I loved you for the short time we were together. And then he just gets serious as shit. He has the cape waving in the wind. It's a badass scene. He just gets up there, gear second. He doesn't say a single thing, punches the guy in the face, and he is down. And that is it. That's the end of the episode. I really like that. I think they did a very good job with that scene. Yeah. Thoughts on the episode?
I actually really enjoyed this one a lot more. Like, I know last week I said I was like, I felt like I was just getting through it. This week, no, I was really enjoying this one again. I think because so much stuff was going on.
Yes.
I think we finally cut away from the Violet stuff, the Coliseum, and we got to see what Nami and the others were up to again, which I think was great. Some little touches here and there I wrote down. I really loved Gatz's animation when he was imitating Harudin's punch. I thought that was a really neat thing that the animators did. Really doing a convincing job showing that Gyatz is really into his job. Other than that, I think it's very entertaining. There was, like I said, there was like enough going on where you weren't watching the same thing for a long time and getting bored.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Doc, thoughts?
No, overall nice episode. I think it took me a second to realize. Oh yeah, with all that implied filler, I didn't because I remember when I watched the scene and I watched the episode, I was like, I could have sworn this was a lot quicker, or at least it went by a lot faster. And then I was like, man, they really staying on this entire little whole.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too.
So then I went back to the chat. And I was like, oh wait, it's okay, cool. But no, it's a really nice little ending. Just the punching of a giant's. And then, boom, to be continued. It's just nice. I was like, I'm coming back for more.
Yeah, I agree.
Even wanting more.
Okay, why don't we go into the next segment, guys? Ready?
I am.
Good.
Yes.
This is the Toonami Recap for episode 253. Sanji barges in, Sea Train Battle in the Storm. Before we get things started, let's go through some ratings. And let's also go through the trending topics. Why don't we start with trending? Really good night overall for One Piece for this week. Luffy and Sanji both trended in the US at number 6. Really cool. Especially since Luffy was stuck in a wall most of the time. And by most of the time, I mean the entire time. And worldwide, this is really cool, Steve. I mean, Sanji worldwide trend at number 10.
That's cool.
That means Sanji is cool. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
not muted at all. I'm just sitting here in silence right now.
Yeah, I believe it.
Way to break the fourth wall, Doc. Jeez.
Meanwhile, last week, since we're recording on Tuesday, we get to do 2 weeks of ratings, which means we'll have nothing to talk about next week. Shit. One Piece got a 0.6 household rating at 742,000 at 1:30 a.m. And this week, let me get that up. The numbers also, I mean, not as great. They're in the 700s at 0.6. It doesn't sound good. It got 771,000 at 0.6. But the thing is, One Piece scored number 1 in all the demos that they were looking for. I think all male demos. And no other show on Toonami, I believe, did that. Scored number 1 for that time slot in all of the demos. So, really good news there. Any thoughts on stuff and ratings?
Well,
or you want to get
if it was the only show to do it that week, then glad it was One Piece.
I mean, Attack on Titan did incredible too. A 1.0 at 1.4. No, this was for its second episode.
Oh, it's second. Right.
It did much better this week actually. It's kind of confusing because it's a little later now. The household ratings though were as good as the Space Dandy and the Space Dandy rerun, which still did 950,000 viewers. It's just it's 1:30. People go to sleep. Anyway, let's start the episode. It starts with a rose petal, of course. Robin is just beyond the reach of Nami. She's trying to grab her. No, we have to get you.
With such conviction, Zach.
Thank you. It was an interesting start to the episode because normally, you'll have the recap and then you'll have the cold open and then the opening. Here, it just starts. You have some repeated scenes, but it just starts with new stuff, which is really cool. Nami realizes she's too late. Polly comes in and is like, "You're too late," and then the opening starts. Thank you, Polly.
Then all is lost.
Oh no.
Die, da, ba, ba, da, ba, do, 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 do. That's me trying to sing.
I'm wondering how long you're going
the full
with this.
version.
Yeah.
After the opening, the train employees oversee Nami and Polly.
This is when Toei was realizing, shit, we're really catch up with the manga. What material do we have to work with to really expand this? Oh, how about those pretty obviously gay conductors? I
don't know if they.
No, they're not. Well, I don't know. They get.
They're at least
sometimes.
gossipy. They're definitely gossipy.
They're gossipy, and
They're yentas. They're yentas.
And the thing is, they're gossipy, and they have no qualms with getting close to each other, just holding each other.
Well, they're like watching a soap opera. They think in their mind.
I was so scared. Me too. They hug each other.
Whoa! Wow. Getting that couple together. You're shipping. That's what you're doing. Right
I am. Yeah. Someone's like, "Do you have any One Piece shippings?" Yeah, those conductors.
There you go.
That's my. I'm like, you're not a real One Piece fan. Get out. Get out.
That's my LTP.
Anyway, as they Nami is just pissed and they're all arguing, but as that's going on, a huge wave crashes in, knocks the sign down. It's stronger than we get the idea. It's stronger than usual. The storm. Meanwhile, some guy, do we even know who this guy is? He's like, "Oh, I see a note over there." He's like, and they're like, "How did you see it? It's just such a tiny piece of paper," and reveal this huge love letter sign that Sanji wrote in Japanese for some reason. Do you think Sanji knows Japanese? Maybe that's what it is.
Was this made in Japan?
Anyway,
it's kind of weird. I would like to point this out that, man, back in the day, if an anime was going to be on TV, like mainly like Toonami, it would be digitally altered to say to be in English. We don't have that anymore. Like not just on DVDs, because Funimation no longer includes the two different angles, the English version, the Japanese version. Even on television, they'll have the subtitles, like either like straight from the stream or straight from the DVDs. It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, she reads the note. Most of it is a love letter, and I love it. Starts out Sanji reading it. P.S. I saw Robin get on the 11 o'clock train, and Frankie and Usopp and Sanji are also there. And then there's the transponder snail. Just pretend it's me and hold it close to your, and it just gets cut off there.
I love that part.
Great gag.
It's like, because someone didn't someone walk in and say, like, what did it say? It was, all right, yeah, we got the most important information out of the way. That was great.
We go on the train. Sanji waits at the end. He's like, "How am I gonna get inside?" Some random guy opens the door and is like, "Okay, here we go. I'm gonna kick this guy," and then just yell for no reason. And you get a commercial break, which was a great. I kind of, I missed the bumpers a little, but that was a great place to just cut off. We return from the commercial break as Sanji now is calm and decides to just walk in. And Steve, it's your favorite character. It's Jerry.
How did you know?
He's a tall guy. That's how I knew. You identify with him, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Do you also have short people smoking and accidentally getting in your face?
I love Jerry's voice in the dub.
Yeah.
He sounds like Red Fox a little bit.
It's a very unique voice.
My name is Jerry. This is my car. I'm smoking my face, and I'll end there.
One of the quotes is, "His head is where his crotch should be." And Sanji just...
Don't you find it funny that government officials are some of the weirdest people ever? And again, it is One Piece.
Yeah.
I mean, like, some of the ones we'll see later.
If they're all serious like Lucci, this would be a very boring arc.
Yeah. It's Jerry. I think I appreciate Jerry more than I did when I originally watched this. Especially in English, yeah.
Yeah, usually when things are in English, it's like kind of, okay, now,
I appreciate the small things more, I think.
You're able to focus on everything else.
I appreciate the gags more in English, definitely. Anyway, Sanji kicks them in the face. Meanwhile, Corgi goes through the layout of the train. There's T-Bone, Wanzi, and Nero. We'll see them later, though. Don't worry. And then nothing happens for the rest of the episode. Back in Water 7, everyone's looking for Luffy and Zoro. Nami recruits the engineers for a little meat hunt. I kid you not. So now, Steve, it's sounding like you might be right.
The conductors are going on a meat hunt.
Awesome.
Oh, my, we must get all the meat. You said it, brother. Oh, come here.
Wow, you're really adamant about this relationship.
It's
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ship it all day.
You love that voice.
I'm seriously, if someone because normally I don't get that question, but if people are like, do you ship? I'm like, I do. The conductors.
You should at a convention if you get that question. Yeah, and those two conductors in Water 7?
I'll answer it with the most, the just straight face. I'll try to be, the conductors. I think the relationship they have is beautiful.
Next question.
We're almost done. So the water we see is receding, like way back, and we see Kokoro and Chimney and Gonbur. What's the bunny /
Gombe.
Cat's name? Dog? What is he trying to be? Gombe.
It's a rabbit trying to be a cat.
Cat. Okay, I was right. It was cat.
That's why it goes yeah, because in it's like in Japan they say nya instead of meow. Oh, sorry, that didn't come off as a weeboo. That came off as an actual Japanese person. In Japan, cats don't say meow. Pfft, that's not as cool as nya.
Anyway, drunken Kokoro and them look on, and they notice the water is receded all the way back. Polly walks over. He's like, "What's going on here?"
You and the accents tonight, Zach.
Good.
Oh, here I'm Polly.
The only ones I could do are like the quasi New York accents and the Jewish guy. What's going on here?
What are you talking about?
What are you guys talking about? Nami also walks over and she sees what's going on. First she sees the water receded all the way back, and then she sees what's going on. Luffy's stuck between two buildings. And she proceeds to jump from building to building in her high heels. Good for her, but damn.
Everyone in One Piece could jump.
Well, you could tell it was like it's more nerve-wracking to watch than if like Luffy just jumped from building to building, because you could tell it was like, oh shit, she's really...
Quick, Nami, use your parkour.
To be a pirate, you have to know parkour. You know that, Steve. Come on. Well, that's it for the episode. What did you guys think?
Got a lot of Sanji in there. No complaints here.
No.
Yeah.
They also used that. I think they used one of the clips in that new lineup.
Yeah. Oh my God! If we mentioned on Twitter, but I'll say it again. That rundown promo is one of the best. One of the best promos from the new Toonami over the last few years.
Definitely the best lineup promo we've seen.
It's so action packed.
Yeah, no, it's just boom, boom, boom.
Like it's very tense. Yeah.
Yeah. And the One Piece clip that they chose for it, fantastic.
It's a Sanji just spinning, kicking the hell out of everybody. It's awesome.
I'm still sad they took away the Frankie strut from the rundown in the middle of One Piece. Now it was Usopp running and tripping.
They seem to change it up every month.
Yeah, so. They change it up every time there's a new lineup, or every 2 weeks, whichever comes first. Yeah, I watch Toonami too much. Anyway, thanks so much to ToonamiFaithful.com for compiling all of the ratings and stuff. It's also on TV Media Insights if you're curious and you want to get it early. I think that's everything for the Toonami Recap. You ready to get into the next segment?
You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, see, that's what cats say in Japan. Yeah. I'm a cat. Yeah.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, and theories and figure out what you're really trying to say, because sometimes it's kind of difficult to figure out. But most of the time it isn't. This week we have some great questions, and with us to answer them, we have Josh Kocurek still with us. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
And we're going to start out with our favorite part of the Piece Together segment. What's it called, Josh?
It's called Piece the Tweet. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been practicing in the shower.
I bet you Ed does that in the shower too. So we have your Twitter questions, comments, and of course, Josh also asked you guys to be gentle with them. Let's see how gentle they really are. First one, it comes from Ichiban Kenshin. Will Funimation be getting Blu-ray rights for One Piece, and what would the process be to getting them? If you could answer any of that.
Sure. Yeah, so Blu-ray rights are if you don't watch a lot of anime, it's kind of hard to see the trend, but normally Japan will be the first to lead with that. So the way that the licensors usually work is that they really don't want anyone else in the world releasing something before they do. So, we won't be releasing Blu-rays for any of the One Piece episodes we have until Japan's at least had the opportunity to do that.
I think they just started.
Yeah, they started with Punk Hazard. So, when we get to Punk Hazard, which will, we got a little ways to go, that option might be on the table, but we're so far away right now, like, we don't really know. And to be honest, once we get there, I mean, that's a decision we're going to have to make. I mean, because when you look at it, by switching over from Blu-rays to DVDs, you're looking at like a higher production cost, so that might potentially raise the retail price. And so our big thing here with One Piece, since we're trying to continually grow the fan base, is we need to make the barrier to entry like really low.
Right.
So raising the price to accommodate for Blu-rays, that's a bridge we'll have to cross when we get there. But to be honest, by the time we get to Punk Hazard, I mean, DVDs will probably be gone. Lord knows where Blu-ray is going to be. I mean, I joke, but I mean, we're still a few years off. So, I mean, at this rate, we might be just all watching it digitally, So
it's tricky with Japan too, because I think it's partially just a matter of pride, where they don't they don't necessarily want to be falling behind in the home country as far as what is on offer, and it's also just a factor of they have some of the most expensive prices for like entertainment media in the world, and therefore if American priced Blu-rays are out, like there are probably a considerable number of fans who wouldn't care about having all these subtitles and whatnot being on the disc if they can buy a cheap Blu-ray from or just not put them on or whatever. That would be an option for them, and that's the sort of thing that you have to be wary of when you're talking about these international licensing deals.
Yeah. So reverse importation is a huge thing that we deal with, and it rightfully so. I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't want their fan base reaching out to us for something.
We get an awesome deal with prices on our DVDs. What are they? They're like under 20 now, a lot of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, times have definitely changed from like 10 years ago when we were buying like the volume sticks of like 3 episodes. Like, that was insane. So it's a good time.
On VHS.
Yeah.
Well, you got to collect them all, and in the DBZ picture, they all make the same picture. Although now the Blu-rays do that.
It's a donkey.
Yeah, you don't know until you get like that last one slide in there.
I get it.
Like, drink more Ovaltine. You're like, wait. Yeah, and then just one more thing when you think about it, like, I went back and watched some of the old One Piece episodes recently, like the teens and things like that, and you guys really don't want those on Blu-ray. I mean, it's not going to make a difference.
Fortunately,
that one guy did.
It reminds me of a conversation I had with someone. I think we were just talking about like One Piece and Fairy Tail. Not really like the comparisons, but it's like, oh yeah, One Piece, it hasn't aged well. I'm like, no, I think those old episodes look great. I love the way those episodes looked back in the day. I kind of miss that look. Going back and then just like them watching them in like their purest form, like a DVD or like an HD stream, it's like, These are dated.
It is one of the interesting things that, just the series has gone on for so long that it's not just like stylistic differences in ways that different characters look, but you can also just see like the difference in technology and animation styles that have changed. It's not hand drawn anymore. It's all digital.
It's always been digital. I think One Piece. One Piece has always been digital. Anyway, we have another question. This one's from Muddy. Is One Piece's journey to Netflix plausible anytime soon, relatively this year in 2014, or not?
To be honest, I really don't know right now. Netflix was one of those things that was happening for a while, but we kind of shifted our focus back towards like streaming and EST, which is like a digital download to own. And so that's kind of where our focus is right now. And by streaming, I'm sorry, I mean like Funimation subscription, Hulu Plus, things like that. So it's not off the table, but it's not really being pursued too actively right now.
Wasn't also announced today, I think I saw on Facebook, season 5 dubbed is on Funimation's website.
Yeah. So that's actually something we did launch that today, and episodes 264 to 336 are now available if you have a Funimation subscription. Which, again, I mean, it's just a part of the. I remember, I think it was the last time I was talking about how the reason there is like this waiting for announcing further seasons and stuff is because we were renegotiating the contracts to try to get more digital built into them. So we can do things like this, and we can start selling, episodes at a time, whether it be on like PlayStation or Xbox, and all these other deals we're working out right now. That way, it's just giving people more opportunities to watch it in the way that they like to consume.
The next question comes from James Nanawa, who says, will we ever see a One Piece special event or road show in the States as they do in France and parts of Asia?
I would love to, honestly. I think it's going to take a little more popularity to pull that thing off.
Yeah.
It's getting up there. I mean, granted, it's not Dragon Ball Z levels. I remember Dragon Ball Z's, like, their road show where they had the Hummer and they went around to malls across America playing the card game. So, I mean, that's when I was a kid. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, there's a lot to pull off with that. But again, I think the fan base needs to be really established in order to warrant a cross country tour or something like that. So
I'm sure the guys over in Japan would be interested in bringing that over when it is more plausible.
Yeah,
I think stuff like that is easier to do if it's like a Dragon Ball or a Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, where there's like some kind of really heavy merchandise, like the card games, where it's an event where people will actually have a very strong reason to show up, other than just the love of the series, because there's some activity that can only happen there. That those make it a lot easier for a series like that to do it. Whereas I don't know if One Piece has some kind of tangential property that would work as well.
Well, they have the One Piece 10 show. I mean, has the event that they're doing now in Taiwan, I think. That has a lot of. They have that special movie. They're showing I think an exclusive thing in the Taiwan showing. So I mean, if something like that is brought over in the future, I think that would definitely draw in people. I'd be there. I don't care where in the country it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would go too. And I think if something like that's going to get pulled off, it definitely have to be that cross between the manga and the anime. Yeah, to bring in both crowds.
Yeah.
So,
let's keep building that popularity up, everyone. Next one's from Catherine Bush. This one's to also Josh. Now that Z is on its way next, what is next? Starting from 1 or doing the highly requested movie 6? If you could answer that.
Yeah. So now that Z's out of the way, we are looking back at the library of the movies, and I know 6 does stand out as a fan favorite. I'm still kind of working on the best way to release those, once we do acquire them. Some of the possibilities might be similar to what we did with the Dragon Ball Z movie packs, where you'll buy like 3 in 1 release or something like that. That way, it's because they're not as sought after. like Strong World or Film Z, it's going to be a harder sell if you just sold them like individually. So
and also those first 3 movies are like
Short.
an hour long.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, we're still working on it on that end in terms of acquiring them. But the way we're approaching it now is more bulk versus, individual films. Because like with Strong World and Film Z, it was let's get these out as quick as possible because the fan base wants them.
Yeah.
Plus they're good tools for growing the fan base and exposing new people to One Piece. So now anything that we dive back into that's older is pretty much just going to be for the fans and to establish a more complete catalog of the series. So
I think we've talked about it before, but I think 6 and maybe 4 have like a unique potential. I think also to reach outside the fan base too. But I mean, with most of the other ones, you're definitely correct that those would be for the fans. Next one comes from Neko Wafers, who says, "Any chance of Film Z getting a theatrical release over here?"
Unfortunately, we really don't have plans for that. It's coming pretty quickly, to be honest. So I mean, we're releasing it later this year. So there's not really enough time to establish a good theatrical plan for it. There is one thing that Funimation's been doing a lot of lately, because we are getting a lot of requests from the fan base saying that they want to see anime in theaters. And so I don't know if you've seen any of these, but we've been partnering with this company called Tug, and they're kind of like a Kickstarter for theatrical events. So essentially what you would do is, we would give them a film. We're actually doing one right now with Ghost in the Shell Arise. And what it is, theaters can sign up. So say like, the AMC in your neck of the woods, and they say, hey, we will show, Ghost in the Shell or films at, at a 7:00 on a Thursday night if we get 50 people to commit to tickets. And, so at that point, it's just kind of, Kickstarter-esque in the sense where, if we meet our goal, then it's going to happen. And then we'll charge you and you'll have your ticket and then you come watch your movie in theaters. But, if we don't meet the goal, then it doesn't happen. And you don't get charged or anything like that. So it's a really good option for people who want to watch, anime or just more obscure movies really in films where they normally wouldn't, because they get to demand it and, kind of speak with their money. And, it's very low risk, low barrier to entry for us and the fans. So it's something that we're trying to push more and more because we're totally cool with throwing these events. And, the ones that we have done, we've provided like posters and giveaways and stuff like that for people who come. But it's just really difficult to, plan a theatrical release around particular anime titles unless you're something huge like we did with Evangelion or FMA, just because you really don't know how it's going to perform, and so it's tough to kind of commit a lot of people's time and money and things like that. So
would a Tug event be possible with Film Z? I mean, we could
totally.
Yeah, we could always work on something to try and make that happen.
Sure, yeah, and maybe that's something that we do attempt to do. That would be fun. Yeah. I think we'll look into that actually and see what we can do.
Nice planning on the air. This one comes from Will of Diego. Has there been an update on the Thriller Bark release? It was supposed to be released this week, and there has been no update.
Yes, season 6. Okay, so the deal with season 6 is that we had to push it back a few months, mostly because while we were in the middle of recording is when we picked up the new movie, and we had to kind of make a decision on, how did we want to release these, which one was more important, and we decided to fast track Film Z over the finishing season 6 right away. And so what that did is that it kind of had season 6 slip a few months, and so it's still coming out this year. And I guess I can just go ahead and kind of say it, even though I know my social media team will probably kill me when they hear about this. But so Film Z is actually going to come out at the end of September. So that's September 30th is the date we're looking at with it. And alongside that is when Thriller Bark's supposed to launch as well. So we're, because we had to slide it back a bit, it actually allowed us to get Film Z into a September slot, which is kind of what we wanted, because we wanted to get it in this year, and we wanted to be able to do some things at conventions with it, because we had a lot of success with Strong World in doing that and being able to do the premiere at AWA and spend a lot of time promoting it on the convention circuit. So by fast tracking Film Z and getting that in September, now we can start pushing it through AX and Otakon and Comic-Con and everything like that. So there's that. So hopefully that answers his question.
I think it does.
I think it also does.
So I'm sorry that we had to push it back, but I think it was for the greater good. And ultimately now we get more One Piece simultaneously. So
right.
Yep.
And I should, just to cover, those dates would be tentative. Obviously.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure for people listening, they're going to be like, oh, September 30th, writing
Why
it down.
isn't it here?
Yes, please don't. Until we make our official announcement, most things are tentative. But I feel like we're okay with where we're at with the movie right now. So hopefully we should be announcing something within the next few weeks once we lock in everything. So
Diego's going to call me. He's like, Mike, why didn't you tell him? Why isn't it here already? I was like, sorry, dude. Shout out to Diego.
Yeah, well, he's the one who asked it.
Well, yeah.
Also dropping the X, the Hunter x Hunter podcast.
One of the hosts.
Yeah, one of the hosts.
Week.
We have a few more questions for Josh. This one comes from Yonko Productions. Has Funimation considered doing a box set for One Piece? I think he means beyond the collections. He says, I know here in Australia, Madman has them with the voyage sets up to season 3.
Yeah, actually, it's something that I've been working on and off on. We looked into it last year, and when we started exploring kind of like the cost and what exactly we wanted to do with it, we really didn't have a lot of resources to dedicate to figuring out, what's the best way to package this, because you kind of have to plan very far in advance with One Piece, and that's one of the weird things I'm kind of dealing with now. As I came into it, already being established, like you already had the collections kind of planned out and the way that the voyages worked. And so, I'm sitting here having to plan, something as simple as like, well, who goes on the cover of collection 16, Right. You kind of have to plan that far in advance, figure out, what characters are going to work, what kind of artwork we have, and get that whole thing under control. And so that's the same thing with kicking off something like this. So say we were to release a premium box set that contain like 3 or 4 of the collections at once. We have to figure out, okay, so what can we do? So we're tossing around some ideas like, well, do we theme each one like per character? Do we theme them per crew? Do we theme them per arc? And then you have to make sure that you have all the assets and everything you need to support that. So, when the guy who picks up One Piece 3 or 4 years from now, if I'm not here anymore, like can take a look at it and be like, okay, I can see what they're trying to do here. But yeah, so it's definitely something we're looking into, and like actively, because trust me, we always want to put more One Piece SKUs out there on the market, just because the fan base is so loyal. And they're always asking for things like that. So we're definitely open to suggestions. So, if anyone ever wants to, hit me up on Twitter or, even you guys or something like that and be like, hey, this would be a cool idea for a box set, or, what is something you would like to see if you're paying, like $120 for a box set? Like, what do you expect to be in there? So we're always open to suggestions.
Yeah, if people send it to us, we'll send it along to Josh. Cool. As long as it's, something reasonable.
Exactly, yeah, because again, the big thing is like you have to walk that line of like, okay, this is gonna cost $250, and only a small amount of people buy them, or do we make it so it's somewhat affordable, but people still enjoy it? So.
Okay, rounding out on we have a few more. Kelly Riot has 2 questions. First, since we were kind of talking about it, are any more One Piece collections going to be released this year?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure 10 slotted for this year. So it will be out and should be announced hopefully within the next month or 2. So
cool.
Yep.
She also asked, do sales reflect a growing popularity of One Piece in the United States?
Sales help. Yeah. I mean, Collection 9 has only been out for like a month now, and it's selling extremely well. Like, it's already eclipsed, some of the Voyage sets from season 4 and 5. Like, and we kind of knew that was going to happen. I mean, the collections always sell a lot better just due to the fact that they're, a better value. And we had very strong pre-orders on them. So it's definitely showing. I think our streaming views, they've also risen. And even with, Crunchyroll streaming it now as well. I mean, I think all of that's helping. So the fan base is definitely growing. Toonami's helping. And so I'm just trying to find a good way of making it grow faster, which is kind of difficult, but it's part of my job. I know that's part of, the guys at Viz. They're working on it too. We talk all the time. So just growing the fan base in general. So it's going up, but we're just trying to find a way to make it accelerate a lot faster. So
we have a few questions on Facebook, and I'm going to read it as this was written from Justin Tyler Brown. I'll ask what's on all of our minds. Will Funimation's release of film Z have the Avril Lavigne credit songs?
Yes, Avril Lavigne will be in our release.
Oh, thank goodness.
Everyone can sleep well tonight.
Oh, boy. She knows so much about the Japanese culture.
I like how you knew exactly what I was asking.
Yeah. That was one of those ones that as soon as we acquisitioned the film, that was the first question out of my mouth. And myself and our acquisitions guy, Adam, jumped all over it, and we were going back and forth because there's always, as you guys know, the music is a completely different animal when it comes to licensing, and this was even trickier because it was a English artist licensed by a Japanese company being licensed by an English company. So it's
a Canadian too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily it all worked out, and ending credits, you will hear her sweet renditions of Nickelback and Joan Jett.
And Joan Jett, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy now that we have that?
I can't. I need a new pair of pants.
Yeah.
Well, while you go get that.
We all know that's why I was here, right?
You can just leave now.
Yeah, we're done.
Get out.
He told me, he's like, if you don't have Avril, don't come on today.
I did say that.
No, get out of here. I'm going to go listen to Skater Boy.
No,
see you later,
don't sing it, or else we'll have to pay for the license. Anyway.
Right.
Next one is from Andrew Ormerond, who says, how far are you in the series? What do you hope to see in the future?
Manga-wise, I'm caught up. Anime, I have not watched last weekend's anime, but I'm practically caught up as well. I just need to find some time. I was actually binging Game of Thrones over the weekend, so I did not get a chance to watch this week's episode yet. But so yeah, I'm all caught up on both, and I'm loving them. I am definitely looking forward to how the anime is going to play out in Dressrosa. So there's still a lot of cool characters, and the rest of the cell block fights and things like that I'm looking forward to seeing.
All right, so I think this is a good switch over to go to the more spoilery stuff here. So if you don't want to listen, this is the time to skip to the next section. First, Daniel asked, do you think Luffy will be one of the Yonkos, one of the emperors, before he will be Pirate King?
Sure.
Yeah, he kind of has to be, right?
I feel like he has to be. Okay, I guess it's...
One is more important than 4.
Jack says, would a science fiction-y arc be out of the question for you guys? Would you not like to see that?
I would love it.
I would love to see that too.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do like time travel. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense, and that would disrupt a lot.
Luffy, we gotta go back to the future. It's your kids, Luffy. We gotta do something about your kids. We have to go back, Kate.
Back on Twitter, Mark Sullivan.
And I do not want a One Piece GT.
No, I don't.
Just getting that out there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does. Mark Sullivan says, do you think that there is a poneglyph on Dressrosa, or will Oda hold out anything until Uranus, about Uranus until later in the series? Well, there's also poneglyphs about the history.
Yeah, I guess that is a good point, because they tend to, they pop up with the stuff that is in the countries that are related to the like the world, because
this one is related,
right, exactly, because there was one in Alabasta, and we know that they were the Nefertaris were one of the 20 founding fathers, essentially, of the world government. So I guess it would
Riku,
make sense. Yeah. Although they haven't really had stuff like there was in Fishman Island, where it's like, oh, this is the mystery spot where there's obviously going to be one of these things because that's where the secrets lie. I haven't gotten that sense.
Well, there's a lot of mystery spots in Dressrosa.
Yeah, I suppose he could pull it out. I don't know. Maybe it's also just a super, super busy arc. So it would almost seem like
if they introduce one more thing like that, it might be like jumping the shark.
It would be a lot, but at the same time, it's a good point that all the kingdoms have it, the big kingdoms. Although Wapple's king, Drum didn't have it, as far as we know. It may.
And I was even thinking about this the other day, like of the things in this arc that we know of that we still haven't even seen, like Kanjuro and the princess of the Tentatas. Because I was going back over the last printed volume, and I was like, oh my god, we still haven't seen these people, and this arc has been going on for like a year and a half or something now. It's crazy.
Almost done here. Jackson G says, do you think Korra is the reason Law became a doctor? Maybe Law was a sickly child, not a sickly children. That would make sense. And she treated him. I forget that Law is a doctor most of the time.
Surgeon, death.
Is it? It's kind of like the whole Chopper thing.
Well, Chopper,
Law's like, oh my god, we need a doctor. Wait, I'm a doctor.
He also asks, who do you think will remain loyal to God Usopp? They can't all want his bounty. I was thinking Hyruden, the giant, because you have that Elbaf connection. I feel like that's gotta hold.
Yeah, that would be a cool thing to tie in. Like at some point in this arc, they're just like old veterans. Like, yeah, you're from Elbaf? Oh yeah, man.
Any other thoughts on either of those questions? No. Okay. Ash says, do you think Kanjuro had Smile tested on him, seeing how Doflamingo kept him alive for that long? There must be a reason. I thought he was running amok. I thought that was the whole thing.
Good luck.
No, they said he was down in the scrap heap. I guess if he's just been living down there, they thought they killed him or something.
What if he is a scrap heap?
Yeah, or if they turned him into a toy and then dumped him down there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking would happen. So he's probably back to being in person now. Sitting down there waiting.
Well, I don't think he was turned into a toy, because before the toys were turned back, Diamante knew who he was.
Oh, duh. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They already remembered him.
They might have just. Oh, the thing is, if they captured him, well, I was about to say, if they captured him, they would have turned him into a toy. Maybe they need him for something. He's pretty important. They want Momonosuke. There's got to be some connection here.
Maybe they're like royalty of Wano or something.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Bargaining chip.
Yeah.
Okay, so that does it for Piece Together. Is there anything else, Josh, that you wanted to go through that we hadn't had a chance to touch on?
No, I think we talked about most of it. We do have, I kind of hinted at it, but we do have big plans for One Piece. at both AX and Otakon. So I guess just kind of stay tuned for that. But we'll definitely be doing some big stuff at both of those conventions. So
and we'll definitely be there at both.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so we'll definitely work together.
Yes.
Figure something out.
Looking forward to that with our. So yeah, keep an eye out. OnePieceOfficial.com. I also do want to mention you can find streaming. It's also on Crunchyroll, as Josh mentioned. And Collection 9 is out. And what else is out now that's new? The latest, all of season 4 and 5 are out.
Yeah, season 5's all out now.
Yeah. So pick those up. It's a lot of fun. The Davy Back fight's starting to come back out again, so enjoy that if you haven't. And watch it on Toonami at 1:30 a.m. It did well this week, so check it out. Let's round off the podcast. You guys ready?
Yeah. Yep.
You don't sound ready. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
This has been episode 317 of the unofficial One Piece podcast, and it concludes the Doflamingo show.
That's ballsy, Zach.
That's very
named
ballsy.
An episode before we've even finished it.
I know. Well, you said it. Now I have to do it.
Well, I didn't say it on air.
Yeah, you did. You said episode title.
Oh, I did say that. Afterwards, I said I'm not recording a single bit until we name this the Doflamingo show.
Well, I was supposed to. I mean, I was supposed to edit this entire episode out next time. Josh, thanks so much for coming on the entire show. Basically,
yeah, guys, thanks so much. It's always fun. So feel free to invite me back whenever.
You're welcome back whenever you were bored and want to talk about One Piece. I guess it's the combo that's important.
We should also thank Josh because he gave us a ton of new info of what to expect for One Piece this year.
I'm excited.
I like to save it all up. That way I can just put it all on you guys and put the pressure on you. So.
I was asking Josh earlier in the year when season 6 got announced. It's like, no, we're going to be announcing other stuff. Let me just wait. I'll do it when we announce other stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine. And yeah, so now we have the other stuff. We got lots to talk about now. I'm really looking forward to all of that coming out, and I'm looking forward to the release for Zed.
It's gonna be a pretty fun con season this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we got a lot of cast announcements to do because we're casting so many key characters. So,
wow.
And I mean to be honest, I don't know any of them yet. So once I do, we'll figure something out.
Pry him; he knows it. No, he doesn't.
Keep asking.
If you keep asking Josh, he'll know it. So really cool stuff. Make sure to go to see Steve at Anime Central this weekend. When is it again, Steve?
The panel is going to be at 6:15 Saturday night. Panel's room 12. If just check the schedule just to be sure. But yeah, it's going to be just me running the panel solo. But yeah, we'll try to have a good time. I just want it to be us hanging out, talking about One Piece. So definitely come. We'll have a good time.
Since we don't have a news segment this week, I do want to mention a couple things that are on our site. William really has been putting a lot of really cool stuff up. First off, the Volume 74 cover has been released. Check that out at onepiecepodcast.com or at one-piece.com. It's on there as well. We'll talk about it in more depth when we go through the volume, like we always do, Stephen. Hopefully you'll be there as well.
Yeah.
It's called Ever at Your Side. Or whatever. I forget the.
That's it.
Okay. We also have an exclusive interview from Oda's first publication. Not an exclusive interview, but an exclusive rundown of Oda's first publication after he won the Tezuka Award 44. Once OPP Japan comes out, which will be very soon, we are literally in the final step here. Then you'll see there's a little connection there with something in the movie. We have a lot of stuff William has told me that you should look forward to on the site as well. Some exclusive stuff and some little interest pieces he's working on that I hope you all enjoy. So I think that's everything.
Actually, just on the topic of news and stuff to look forward to as well, I believe they announced that July 8th is the release date for the Unlimited World Red, which is coming out on PS3 and on the Wii U. And I'm not sure. I forget if they're doing the portable versions as well. But Mr. Jason Sackle has been bothering me here and there about doing a special revival episode of Grand Line Gaming. When that
it's been forever.
Yeah, well, we were.
It's been years.
We were basically had called it quits, but it's now that it's coming out on these big consoles and is a big deal. I guess we'll try to find some way. He's not sure if we're going to do it on PS3 or Wii U because there are differences with the tablet and all. But
I'm kind of curious because I'm going to be getting a Wii U now. I'm kind of conflicted on which system I should get it for.
Yeah. So I don't know if that'll be like a series or just one time, but we'll schedule something out and let you guys know when that happens, so we can show off the latest One Piece game.
Cool. I think that's everything. Of course, look forward to some really cool episodes coming to celebrate our 5th anniversary. Again, we'll have Matt Cohen on next week. That's always a lot of fun. Be really a cool, energetic show, so make sure to watch. Make sure to listen. But Steve, how could the good people out there contact us?
Well, Zach, they could go to our website. That's onepiecepodcast.com. Visit us on Facebook or Twitter /OnePiecePodcast. Tumblr, onepiecepodcast.tumblr.com. That gets you've been reblogging some GIFs lately.
I've been trying to be active on there. Yeah.
It's good. You should be. Tumblr's a good community. What else do we got? I mean, of course, you could rate and review on iTunes. I don't think we've gotten like a review on iTunes in
forever. So yeah, we're still getting, people are still subscribing, but they just aren't going and rating.
But hey, if you got the time, you really like the podcast, give us a review. Because it will really help with the rankings. I don't know where we.
No, I don't think it does anything with the rankings, but it's a nice thing to do.
At least iTunes will. Okay, there's a good reason why this podcast.
Well, it's when people go and should I subscribe to the One Piece podcast? They'll say, these people wrote very nice reviews about it. Yes, I will.
That's true. We're also on Stitcher Radio. What else do we have going on lately? I mentioned. I think we mentioned all of our social media. Of course, you can email us. Email us anything, but we'll take piece together questions. That's onepiecepodcast@gmail.com. We also check the One Piece Reddit, the subreddit, because I forgot
to post the piece together on there, but we had a lot. So
that's okay. We got a lot today, and trust me, we probably answered a lot of your questions already, just having Josh on, so no need to fret. But yeah, check the subreddit. Usually on Mondays, we'll post
Sunday, Monday, yeah.
Monday, we'll post a thread, and you can ask us questions there. And of course, there's our phone number, Zach.
That phone number is 347-497-MAGI. That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime. With your questions, comments, theories, suggestions, and reasons why you can't ask any more about Season 6.
But you could still not care. Battle of Gods.
Battle of Gods. Sorry for the delay in the episode this week, but I appreciate your patience. And we will be at our normal scheduled time, Monday, very late night as usual, next week and the following weeks, and we'll have some bonus stuff coming, so keep an ear to the ground. But before we go, Josh, how could people follow you, keep up with you?
Sure, yeah. I would say follow me on Twitter at Josh Kocurek, Kocurek. I'm actually trying to be more active. I've been kind of slacking lately. It's just a bunch of Instagram tweets of my cat and or food. So
and some One Piece
you're doing
stuff.
It right. You're doing
and One Piece. Right. You're right, and some One Piece stuff. And I usually try to reply when people ask me questions. So
picture.
Exactly. So yeah, Twitter's a good place. Or definitely check out Funimation's website, Funimation's Facebook page, and that's about it. So I'm always going to be around. So I'm constantly working on stuff. So if you have questions, just send them my way.
Nice.
So
So, Steven.
You may follow me at Translatosaurus, and that's about it.
Nothing else is happening? Yeah. Okay.
No. Oh, well, I am just on the topic of random stuff. I'm embarking on a trivial pursuit of Greg-like proportions because if you remember, I'm working on the volume 73 final script to submit. And one of the questions was about all of the different ways that Sanji and Zoro have referred to each other. And like in the difference between Japanese and English as far as like second person pronouns. Like in English you just say you, but there's all these different ones in Japanese, and then they call each other all these nicknames. And so I'm like just skimming through all the books and looking for lines of dialogue between Sanji and Zoro, and then just adding them all up and putting in the Viz versions of them. So that will be driving me crazy for the next few weeks. So maybe there will be some funny tweets out of that.
Yeah, I was going to say you should ask people listening, to help you out with that a little bit. Or
drives Steven crazy.
You could tweet when you can't find something, or I don't know.
I feel like this is going to be like that movie Pi. Everything's going to be grayscale, and Steven's going to go insane. Eventually, he's just going to try and kill himself with a power drill.
Wow, that got dark.
That's what happened in the movie.
Doctor, where could people find you?
Not drilling something in my head. Over at
What console do you like to use?
No, stop.
You can find me over at SSAApodcast.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at SSAA Podcast. Also, Gensama Podcast, GensamaPodcast.com. At Gensama Podcast on Twitter. That's everything.
Cool. So anyway, for the One Piece...
Not me.
No, if Steve, what do you want to promote?
Well, you can find me in a padded room. Straight jacket. You can follow me at Steve Yurko on Twitter. Follow me at steveyurko.tumblr.com, where I post my artwork. And ask me questions. Send me funny questions. I like to be funny.
You can find me at Zach_Logan, ZACH_Logan, on Twitter and on Ask.me, which is a thing that I've been doing still for some reason. I think that's everything, though. So for the unofficial One Piece podcast, my name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Damn hungry hot.
Don't care. Battle of Gods.
Yep.
瞳に映った悲しいリアルを壊せぬくもりつきの羽をあげようシュールなだってほしい心